name is Vasilia, and I'm a Beit Hub facilitator for the Athens Comics Library. I'm also a storyteller. Those who have seen the rest of my videos know this magic box. Now, this has one of my favorite stories because it's one of my first stories, back when I thought I couldn't draw. Let me tell you a secret. Everybody can draw, especially when they have a story to tell. Now, how about we go on with the story? Now, this story begins once upon a time. Now, once upon a time, there lived a man, and that man had a job. He was a stonecutter. Every day, he went to the mountain to cut stones and take back, to make houses and roads. And that's what he did every day. He was a rich man, and he was a tired man, very, very tired of doing this hard work. And one day, as he was working on a mountain, he saw the king pass by. And the king was sitting on his throne, and there were people holding him. He didn't even walk. And the stonecutter thought to himself, wow, that's the life. That's the life I want to do. I am going to be king. That's perfect. You're the most powerful one in the world. You have everything. Ah, how I wish I were a king. And who knows? Maybe the skies were open and his wish was heard. And from one moment to another, the stonecutter became a king. And he was a powerful king. He had a big palace. He had the finest clothes. He wore the crown to his head. Everybody bowed to him. I am the most powerful of them all. And he was content. One day, he walked outside to take a stroll down his big, big gardens. And suddenly, as he was walking in his gardens, he felt something scorching his head, and he was hot in his expensive clothes, and he looked up and he saw the sun, and he thought to himself, I am not the most powerful in this world. The sun is. The sun is more powerful than me. I wish I were the sun. And who knows? Maybe the skies were open and his wish was heard. And from one moment to another, he was now the sun up in the sky. And he roamed the whole world, and he sent his rays down to the people, and he helped them get warm, and he helped the plants grow big. And he was content. But one day, the man saw something come in front of him, and he could no longer send his rays down to the people, down to the earth. He turned and he looked, and he saw a big gray cloud. And he thought to himself, wow, I am not the most powerful of the world. The cloud is more powerful than me. I wish I were the cloud. And who knows? Maybe the skies were open and his wish was heard. From one moment to the other, he became the cloud. And he was heavy with rain, and he was gathering up the rain and the water, and he traveled the world, and he sent the rain down to people to make the water flow. And he was content. And as he was traveling the world one day, suddenly he felt something push him. And he tried to stop it, but he could do nothing. And that thing pushed him further and further and changed its shape. It was, what was it? You guessed it. The wind. The wind blew on the cloud, and it took it here and took it up and down and changed its forms. And there was nothing the cloud could do to stop it. And then the man that was once a stonecutter thought to himself, wow, I am not the most powerful in this world. The wind is. The wind is more powerful than me. I wish I were the wind. And who knows? Maybe the skies were open and his wish was heard. And from one moment to the other, he became the wind. And as the wind, it blew on the trees and made the sea grow waves, big waves. And it didn't stop for 1 minute, just traveling from one place to the other, going around the world, pushing the clouds to change forms. And he was content. Till one day, the wind just found an obstacle. A big, tall mountain. And the wind blew on the mountains, but the mountain was big and strong and tall and didn't care. The man that was once a stonecutter thought to himself, well, I was wrong. Wind is not the most powerful thing in the world. The mountain is more powerful than me. I wish I were the mountain. And from one moment to the other, he became the mountain. A big, tall mountain with fire coming out. And the years passed. And the fire died down. And all that was left was a big, tall, sturdy mountain. And one day, that mountain heard a sound. What is it? Of course. It's the stonecutter. The stonecutter that came down to take stone from this mountain. And the mountain thought to himself, wow, I'm not the most powerful thing in the world. That stonecutter is more powerful than me. I wish I were again a stonecutter. And who knows? Maybe the skies were open and his wish was heard. And from one moment to the other, the man that was once king, the sun, the clouds, the wind, the mountain, became himself. And this time, this man was happy. And this was the end of this story. Thank you so much for listening.